scene. I think Sloan is a great park to check out because, again, there's just a lot of other people, a lot of just friendly faces, people that are just like hanging out with their dog on the park, like especially in the summertime. Just there's a lot of great grassy areas. They'll just, bring out a towel, beach towel, picnic, just have this little kind of afternoon hangout session with your dog and maybe some other people, and people just kind of start talking to one another. So it's just a great place to meet people, especially if you have a dog. And it's also just some great spot for exercise. When I lived over in this area, I'd walk my dog Charlie around the lake almost every day. It would take us just under an hour, and I think it was about 2.5 miles. So, decent, good amount of exercise. If you do that every day, that's great for your dog. So just a spot in Denver that is very friendly when it comes to owning pets. And I also will say, what I also really loved about Sloan Lake area is in this Highland area. This is the twist that I wanted to share with you guys. It's maybe different from other videos you've heard about this part of town, is you're very close to Tennyson. So Tennyson is just on the other side of 38th Avenue, which is really what Highlands borders. So you got Sloan Lake a little bit south. You basically just butt up to Highlands, and then just to the north and slightly to the west of Highlands, you're gonna have Tennyson. Tennyson's another really good walkable street. It's an area, but there's one street that has a ton of restaurants, shopping, a lot of locally owned and operated businesses, and that's Tennyson Street. And what I wanted to bring this up when it comes to being dog friendly, a lot of the different businesses in here, allow you to bring your dog in with you. There's also just some different restaurants and bars that have outdoor patios that are dog friendly. There's just a lot of that kind of stuff going on. And I think, again, a testament to why so many people in this part of town, and really all of Denver, but I think especially in this part of Denver, that western side of Denver, where maybe you have a little bit more space, which also I think helps when it comes to dog owners. It's just very pro dogs. So definitely check out Highlands, Sloan Lake, check out that Tennyson Street. And then one last place I'll share with you that I used to love going to is a restaurant, but really more of a bar, and it's called Joyride. And it's technically in Edgewater, but it's just right across the street, right across Sheridan from Sloan Lake. And why I love Joyride, why I had to give it an honorable mention, a shout out in this video, is because they take it to the next level of dog friendly. They've got water bowls inside. You go in there and you'll have, several dogs just kind of hanging out with their owners, just drinking beer. It's a pretty nice place though, and I say that I don't want to scare anybody away. I mean, it's a nice spot. There's also a rooftop area that has a great view of downtown Denver as well as Sloan Lake. And just for fun, I'll also share with you guys one last thing before we move on. If you ever watch the show Dog the Bounty Hunter, he actually has one of his original, I think, bail bonds offices right like two businesses over from Joyride. I've actually never seen it with the lights on, but it's had the Dog the Bounty Hunter, bail bonds signage up for years. So that's just right around the corner. So if you get in trouble, you got Dog the Bounty Hunter and his business, his office front right there. So anyways, I definitely want you guys to check out Sloan Lake, Highlands, and Tennyson as my first area that I think is a great spot for dog lovers. All right, so jumping into number 2, I'm gonna talk about Wash Park. So Wash Park is in a ton of videos you've probably maybe seen or have just been aware of on YouTube. And just in general, Wash Park is one of the most popular areas in Denver, and for good reason. It is a beautiful park. Wash Park has these two lakes and just great trail all around it. Very social, similar to Sloan Lake that I just shared with you. But I think what makes Wash Park more desirable for a lot of people is you're that much closer to downtown Denver. You're very close to Spear Boulevard, which has a really nice paved trail for you to walk on with your dog. You do have to be careful though of cyclists. It's a very popular trail for cycling. But that's just one other great option. If you live in Wash Park, you can enjoy the park and walk around that. Again, a lot of social life when it comes to Wash Park, especially in the summertime with different intramural sports going on. Their volleyball league is insane. Go out on like a Thursday night, I bet you'll see 100 volleyball courts, dogs, people, there's just a lot going on. almost gives me anxiety sometimes. It's like too much going on. But definitely, again, a great spot for walking your dog on Wash Park. And then as well, going over to Spirit Boulevard, you can take that right into Cherry Creek, where the Cherry Creek Mall is, and North Cherry Creek, which has a lot of cool shopping. And again, you can just walk your dog through some of those streets. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Cherry Creek in a minute, so that might be a little teaser, so hold up for that one. But I think, again, Wash Park is just a great area for dog lovers and also just a great area for real estate. It is one of the more expensive parts of Denver, so the median home price in this area was over $1 million for 2024, so significantly more than certain other areas in Denver. But I think, though, Wash Park, I could not put it on the list. It's definitely an area that is very dog friendly. You're also close to Platt Park, also known as South Pearl Street. And this is another cool, street, which is Pearl Street, that has a lot of really good restaurants, shopping, locally owned and operated businesses, and one of the best farmers markets in the summertime, and another, sweet spot to take your dog in the summertime just to walk and check out all the stuff they have going on. In fact, they're so dog friendly at that farmer's market. You'll even find a lot of the different vendors, people that have, rented a little booth and are selling things. A lot of those are even dog related. So definitely check out that Wash Park area, as well as Platt Park, which is another neighborhood that borders Wash Park. Definitely check those out in the summertime if you guys are dog lovers. All right, so number 3 is going to be Grant Ranch. I live in Grant Ranch, so I'm going to start off by just saying that, this is where I live right now, and I love this area. And I love this area because it is so perfect for dog lovers. So just to give you a little bit of a glimpse into my lifestyle, pretty much every day I'll take my dog on a couple walks. I'll take him on a quicker, maybe 15 to 20 minute walk, sometime, late morning. And then when I get finished with work or need to take another break late afternoon, I'll take him on a longer, 45-minute, hopefully maybe even an hour walk. And in Grant Ranch, what I love is there are so many different paths, different trails to take, where I literally just walk my dog out the front door and we're on it. We don't have to get in the car. We don't have to spend 10 minutes going somewhere and then taking our walk. It is just so efficient and convenient when you live in Grant Ranch, because you have all kinds of great trails to take your dogs on. And the best part, nobody is ever on them. It's not to the point where you could have your dogs off leash, although I do see neighbors sometimes with their dogs off leash. I just don't mess with that here. But you are on trails where I would say, on a 30-minute walk, you might see 1 or 2, maybe 3 other neighbors walking on the trails. And there's just so many trails. I think that's part of the reason why. There's all kinds of really nice open spaces, lush grass. They do a great job with the landscaping. And in addition to just being able to enjoy walking these trails with your dog, some of these parks are also just always completely empty. One specifically, I bet you I've seen 2 or 3 people in the last year really using this park and this beautiful grassy area for anything. It's just nobody's ever on it other than a bunch of geese. So on these areas, I always take my dog Charlie off leash and just let him kind of run around and get a little bit more exercise, as we're kind of at about our halfway point usually for the trail that I typically take him on. So I just want to make that point that with Grant Ranch, what makes it so unique in comparison to some of the other places I've shared with you, especially that Highlands, Sloan Lake area, but also Wash Park, both of those are very dense. There's a lot of people living around that area, and just a lot of people on the trails. You're gonna have to constantly kind of pass people if you're walking faster than them. Nowadays, everybody has their headphones in, so then it's just kind of this, cat and mouse game. You gotta kind of time things right. With Grant Ranch, I just like being a little bit more isolated by myself, just really enjoy Mother Nature maybe, just, not have to deal with that aspect of walking your dog, them getting excited and barking or, pulling you at another dog. It's just very quiet and peaceful and just serene in Grant Ranch when you're walking your dog. So I had to put it on the list because it is very different from the others that I've shared with you so far. Grant Ranch is on the southwestern side of Denver in Littleton. And another thing that I'll share with you when it comes to dogs and just why this part of Denver is so great, there's an area, a park known as Berkeley Lake Park, and it is a little bit west of me. It's about an 8 to 10 minute drive, But this is another spot where in the summertime, you'll see hundreds of people out on the lake, paddleboarding, kayaking, just sitting in inner tubes. But you will see so many dogs in the summertime just riding on people's paddle boards, just doing all that fun stuff. So it's just another cool social place if you want a little bit of that, similar to what I mentioned with Sloan Lake and Wash Park. If you live on the southwest side of town, Littleton, that could kind of be like an alternative to still get that same vibe, that same feel. When it comes though just to paddleboarding, if that's something you really like to do with your dog, if you live in Grand Ranch, you have immediate direct access to get on the water right here, which is a private reservoir just for the Grand Ranch residents. I can actually walk from my house, take the paddleboard out the garage, and it's only about 3 houses away until I'm at the the landing for the beach. Get Charlie, my dog, on the paddleboard, and we're on the water. So if you live in Grand Ranch, there's a lot of homes like where I live where you could be on the water in under 5 minutes from your front door to being on the water with your dog. So super cool area. Had to share that one with you guys. Now let's go on to number 4. All right, so number 4 is going to be Central Park, which was formerly known as Stapleton. So Stapleton was our airport before Denver International Airport was built about 30 years ago at this point. It's crazy to think it's been that long. Stapleton and Central Park, as it's called now, still do have a little bit of remnants of that time in Denver. What I mean by that is they still have the air traffic control tower in this Central Park area. It's been a few different businesses over the last several years, including a Punch Bowl, which is like a bowling slash social area, just a lot of games and arcades. There's a bunch of stuff going on. It was that for a long time. It's been a few different things, but that is something you can enjoy if you do live here in the Central Park area. And they're also very dog friendly. A lot of the businesses, restaurants, just a lot of the stuff in this area that you're going to be walking around and seeing, you'll find a lot of dog bowls out the front door, because you can just tell that people are very pro having dogs and support dog owners, and just understanding if you need to run in and pick up a sandwich, most likely that business is going to have a very loose rule when it comes to maybe bringing your dog in with you on its leash while you pick up your lunch, or maybe just sitting outside and just waiting for your food to be ready. There's a lot of restaurants, businesses, stuff in the Central Park area specifically that I think is worth putting it on this list of my 5 favorite neighborhoods for dog lovers. I'll also say that if you are somebody that travels a lot for work, if you are traveling and you're going to Denver International Airport, the new airport, it is also very close to here. So you're able to really enjoy having some of the best in all of Denver dog boarding places right next to where you live and next to the airport. So, on a Friday, if you're going out of town, instead of having to drive 30 minutes to drop your dog off somewhere, drive back home, then drive to the airport, it's all super close, and you can really just take advantage of that. Something that you probably aren't thinking about at this point, but I think really pays off and is valuable to have there if you do decide to live in this Central Park, Stapleton area. The last thing I'll mention about Central Park and Stapleton before moving on is, this is an area that's north of downtown Denver, and some of these other areas that I've been sharing with you today are more on the western or even the southern side of Denver. So why I wanted to share Central Park, Stapleton is just to make the point that all parts of Denver have great areas for dog lovers and neighborhoods for people to live in if you have dogs. So Central Park, Stapleton, in my opinion, is just the best when you're on that north side of Denver. All right, made it to number 5, and I saved the best for last in some senses. What I mean by this is I want to share something new that I recently learned from one of my friends. Rena, if you're watching this, thanks for the tip on this one. And she actually just moved to Denver, and she was in a different part of the state, moved to Denver a few months ago and has a super cute little dog. And she was just sharing with me about this awesome spot she found, which is in Cherry Creek. So my 5th neighborhood is going to be Cherry Creek. And what she was telling me about is actually at Cherry Creek, the state park. You get a membership there where you can, you have to go through the gate and show them your membership card, or you can just do day passes. I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks. But what's so cool is they have this super large, very well-maintained dog park, and it's all off leash. So it's one of the few areas in Denver that I think has this off leash style of dog park that is expansive enough where you don't just feel like you're in this little area with fencing all around it, and everybody's just like kind of, jammed into this small little area to have your dog off leash. Instead of that, this is really just a large area. There's even like some water features in there, lots of just different types of terrain for them to explore and sniff and enjoy. And it's just, again, one of the areas that I think are the best when it comes to off-leash dog parks. Cherry Creek Reservoir is also part of the state park, so if you guys are boaters and you like wakeboarding or water skiing, tubing, any of that fun stuff, this is one of the only reservoirs in all of Denver that is really suitable for water skiing, for water sports. Cherry Creek Reservoir and Chatfield Reservoir are really the two main ones when it comes to being close to Denver. There's a lot of others that are further away, up in Fort Collins and even down south, but Cherry Creek and Chatfield are really the main two in Denver. And if you're a dog lover and you love doing all that other good stuff, this could be a great spot for you. My girlfriend, she actually lives in North Cherry Creek, and I bring my dog Charlie over there all the time, and we love going on walks, especially when the weather's warmer, especially like in the summer evenings when it's cooled down and it's just a great time of day to be outside. We'll take Charlie, my dog, out and walk all around this Cherry Creek neighborhood where all this, kind of upscale shopping centers and stuff are. We'll walk through that area. That's not the best because it's kind of hard to find a place for him to go to the bathroom if he needs to. But if you go a little bit further from there and get into the neighborhoods surrounding the Cherry Creek shopping district, what I love about this is it is super nice neighborhoods. Very expensive homes, but just beautiful to walk around and just look at and enjoy. In addition to that area, you can also walk from Cherry Creek over to Country Club neighborhood, which has even cooler homes. Kind of like regal estates, 1 acre lots, very old, big, again, palatial type homes. So definitely check out Cherry Creek if you guys are dog lovers. Lots of cool stuff to find there. All right, well, there you have it. All 5 of these neighborhoods are phenomenal neighborhoods to check out if you guys are dog lovers like I am. Charlie was quiet through the whole video. He's sitting right over here, just listening to me, probably getting excited, thinking that hopefully we're gonna go to one of these places soon. But really, more than anything else, you guys, I just wanted to make a point today that Denver is phenomenal if you guys are dog lovers. I'm super happy with living here and enjoying having a dog and have never really had too many issues at all when it comes to that. So if you guys are interested in any of these 5 neighborhoods or just want to learn more about Denver in general, just a quick plug with 2 things. Number 1, all that info down below, reach out. I would love to connect with you guys. No strings attached. Would just love to hear more about you. And then number 2, you see down below, I have a QR code, and also you can check out the website. But on that QR code, you can download a free copy of my latest Locals Guide to Denver. I share over 20 of the best neighborhoods, talk about the best places for dogs, best parks, restaurants, farmers markets, everything you can think of. All of it's in this guide. It's completely free. Just scan that QR code or just check it out at adamsillsdenver.com. Get yourself a free copy. And if you have any questions, reach out. Until next week, I'll see you guys on an all new episode of Living in Denver. Charlie and myself hope to see you guys soon. Bye.